Accio Harry Potter Store. I'm outside of Harry Potter Store Chicago to answer your question, should you visit Harry Potter Store Chicago or skip it and go over to Universal at either Florida or in Hollywood? Let's go ahead and get into today's video. This is the Harry Potter shop in Chicago, and it's actually free to enter. It's located right downtown. At first glance, it looks like a full immersive experience, but it's actually more of a themed retail store. Now, I've heard mixed things about this place. I've heard some people say it's worth the stop if you're in Chicago. Others say it's just an expensive tourist shop. So I wanted to see for myself after visiting last year in 2025 when it opened. So where this store really shines is going to be in the theming and the ambiance. So because it is set in Chicago at the Butterbeer Bar, it's actually themed to like a speakeasy. So when you go in there, think like Al Capone type ambiance when you're in there. With the Butterbeer Bar, you can find frozen butterbeer, which is one of my favorites. You'll also notice that the store's centerpiece is going to be the Goblet of Fire that extends all the way to the ceiling, and you'll hear different John Williams music themed to the Goblet of Fire, so definitely check that out. You also have the wand section, which is one of my favorites because you can find the different exclusive wands there. The Goblet of Fire is actually going to be the Chicago exclusive wand, but you can find wands like the Philosopher's Stone, Ukrainian Iron Belly. So a lot of these wands are not exclusive to Chicago, but definitely check it out because behind the actual counter where you see the wands, you'll see that it's Diagon Alley, and you might even see a flying car from the Chamber of Secrets. So definitely keep an eye out. You'll also find with flying letters the artwork from Minalima. So it's actually a team of artists that used to design some of the illustrations in this Chicago print. You can see it. It's themed to Chicago. You have the dragon out there. So definitely check out that section. That's one of my personal favorites. You can also find the different plushies. I love that section. So Fantastic Beasts, you know where to find them in that store. So definitely check it out. You'll also find some exclusive merchandise to the store, like the Harry Potter Chicago Spirit jerseys, shirts, mugs. So I definitely picked up a travel mug when I was there, so check that out. So the store itself looks big on video, but it's actually kind of small. You have to think this is in Chicago in a high traffic touristy area. So if you're expecting like a full Harry Potter experience like you can at Universal Orlando or Hollywood, just kind of beware because it is kind of small maneuvering. Luckily, when I was there on that Thursday, it was not really that busy like it was in 2025. So just keep that in mind if you are visiting. It might be a little bit smaller than what you expect. Nonetheless, it's highly themed. It kind of reminds me a lot of the 90s Disney stores that you can find at malls and the Warner Brothers stores, but it's very highly themed and immersive. I love this store when I'm there. So let's move on into my favorite section, which is the Butterbeer Bar. So the Butterbeer Bar at the Harry Potter store in Chicago is actually themed to like a speakeasy because it is set in Chicago. So think like Al Capone when you're visiting, and you can find the real frozen butterbeer, which I'm happy to report back tastes exactly like you would find it at Universal Orlando or Hollywood. So definitely check out the frozen butterbeer when you're there. You can also find different treats like the butterbeer popcorn, which from what I've heard tastes a lot like caramel popcorn, not really butterbeer flavored, but Chicago is known for its popcorn, so check that out if you're a big popcorn fan. There's also the Happy Birthday Harry cake that you can find, different cakes like the Cauldron cake. So check out the Butterbeer Bar That is one of my favorites when I visit the Harry Potter store in Chicago, and it doesn't disappoint. It's always good. Keep in mind, if you do buy the frozen butter beer, it is $15 roughly with tax. So there's also the souvenir mug. It comes in with mug wash. They will not let you bring the butterbeer around the store, so beware. If you do want to walk around with your butterbeer, you'll have to finish it up in the actual eating area, and then you can wash it and then just take it around the store with you. But yeah, definitely check out the butterbeer bar. It's fantastic. It's a must do when you visit Harry Potter store Chicago. So now we're going to move into the pros and cons of visiting Harry Potter store Chicago. So some of the pros are this is a highly immersive themed store, and it's completely free. If you just want to walk in and browse the store, you're more than welcome to do that. Just know you might come out and spend a lot of your galleons the way I do in the Wizarding World, so just keep that in mind. So I really enjoy the store and the different themes that it has with the different areas. You can pick up some exclusive wands if you're into that. Note they are not interactive like the ones you can find at the Universal theme park, so just keep that in mind. These are more collector pieces. You can also find the different books. There's really nothing different about the books, minus the Chicago stickers on them, and also the artwork section where you can see the different pieces that are signed by the artist Minalima. So definitely check that out. So that's one of the higher pros, I would say, is just the themes, and then also the merchandise is really great themed as well. So some of the cons about visiting Harry Potter store Chicago: if you are a theme park fan, note that this is not a theme park. This is downtown Chicago, so you will have to deal with the different transportation options to get there. Luckily, Chicago is one of the better transportation cities, so if you're staying close enough, you can walk, you can take the train, or like I do, I just take the Uber or Lyft when I'm there. Also, it's kind of small for what you would expect for the store. So if you are visiting around the holidays or a high traffic area time for tourists, just note maybe a little bit harder to move around in the store. But those are some of the pros and cons about visiting the Harry Potter store Chicago. So that's going to wrap up my overview of if the Harry Potter store in Chicago is going to be worth it for you to visit. But now I want to know down in the comments, are you planning to visit the Harry Potter store Chicago? You're going to make a special trip, or are you going to skip it and just stay at the theme parks? If this is your first time here, hit like and subscribe. I do nostalgia theme parks with some smart money content mixed in. Like, is it going to be worth it, your money? Stay tuned for future videos where I'm actually going to see some real dinosaurs. That's right, real dinosaurs. And I've got some upcoming trips to the theme park, so you won't want to miss out on that content. Hit the notification bell so that way you know every time a new DizWiz Dollars video drops. And as always, I hope your money meets the magic, and I'm going to see you in the next video.